the chaotic wonders and the marvelous rains in Monaco to Spain. My name is Oshifes Oluwadamilare. I'm a mechanic. Welcome to Exxon F1, also known as from Lawon, Colum, Africa. Here we go. Now, this weekend we're in Spain, battling it out for who will come up on the podium in Spain. A lot of teams brought their upgrades. Ferrari with new upgrades, with the new side pods, looking like, the replica of the Red Bull side pods, just the same as the Red Bull side pods that will be used by only one driver this weekend. Carlos Sainz is fixing it on his car. They are trying to check the variant of the old car and the new revised upgraded car this weekend to see what they can learn from it. As we all know, Formula One is a data sport. They get a lot of data, they work with a lot of data, and we are going to see what they're going to do with the data through the weekend. So FP1 was just beautiful upon us with the tire testing. All the teams tested the new tires that will be used in 2024. They tested the variants of the tires to know what the tires will look like next year. And as you all know, tires for next year will require less heat. Less heat as in there will be no more eating bags, or there will be less heat from the eating covers or eating bags for the tires. They are only going to be warmed up by the car itself when they get on the track, which is going to look marvelously great for the drivers, because it's going to pose a new challenge for the drivers for every weekend next year. And I know before the 5th to 6th race, a lot of teams would have learned a lot about the tires and know how to work with the tires or improve the tires or improve the car based on the tire design. With that, the FP1, Alpine shows a lot of tendency. They are trying to carry on from where they stopped in Monaco, with Ocon and Gasly really pushing the Red Bulls. The Aston Martin, with the upgrades they brought little upgrades, but they didn't really show us any pace. The Ferrari, with the glory of their upgrades, Charles Leclerc, was still looking dominant as regards Carlos Sainz. And I think when we look at that, we have to attribute that to the driver's mentality, which we'll say is Carlos Sainz confident enough in the car? 2, are the upgrades really working? Have they really tweaked or gotten the upgrade to work? That's another thing, because that will take us to another team on the grid very soon. So we can see the Alpine bringing upgrades in first race of the season themselves, and I think McLaren brought upgrades the second race of the season, and we can see how long it took the Alpine team to really get familiarized with their upgrades, and they are now channeling the knowledge they have with the data from their upgrade to the real races now, and you can see that that is really working for the Alpine team. And also for McLaren, that is really pushing the McLaren team closer to where they really want to be, because they are learning a lot, and they've told us by the second part of the season they are bringing a bigger chunk of upgrade that will change the outlook of their car and a lot of things, or the way we see the car. That's the same direction in which Mercedes went. I'm not saying that they are going to change their car to the Mercedes concept, but I think what they're trying to do is to change the total concept, the side pods, the floor, the suspension, the variations of the car, which will really work for them. Now, what were the things that the Ferrari team brought in as upgrade? They brought the totally revised rear suspension, new floors, and side pods. The side pods are what I said really look like the Red Bull's side pod. Now, they've reconfigured their rear suspension. From what I've said, they've really had issues. From what I've said in the last videos, they've had issues with their tire warm-up. The car warms up tires as soon as possible. The car lights up the rear tires faster. Their tires go out faster than other teams. And I said they really need to do something to that. Also on their floor, they brought floors because these are ground effect cars. We are in the ground effect season, or the ground effect time of Formula One, in which the cars have to generate the right vortexes, the right structure from the ground to be able to bring the car alive, to make the car faster. So no team will bring any upgrade and not look at how to tweak or change their floor. So it's not new that we know that Ferrari are bringing new floors, in which they already did. They brought new floors to the Spanish Grand Prix. We are looking at how it will transform their race, but from what we see in FP1 and FP2, I'm not sure they will be closer, but they still need a lot to learn from the upgrades they brought. And I think Leclerc will still do a job on Carlos Sainz during the race or during the qualifying. Those are things that that we are really expecting. The ads really push. They show them they are having consistency with the little upgrades they brought. Alfa Romeo, yeah, they really did a good job with that car that they have. Teams that brought upgrades, Aston Martin, Ferrari. Aston Martin brought a new front wing. Alfa Romeo brought new front wings. McLaren brought some beats. The Williams have not brought any major upgrades this season. They've only been bringing beats and beats. But Alex Albon has been driving his heart out for that team. For the FP1, at the end of the day, the usual suspect, Max Verstappen, dominated the FP1, with the closest person to him being about 6 tenths away from him, and the Mercedes are still far off from him. They are like 1.2 seconds away from the Red Bull. We don't know if they are carrying much fuel in the first practice, but they brought the upgrades in Monaco, and Monaco is not really a place to test upgrades. So now we are seeing what the upgrades really look like and what they'll be working like. And I think if they do a lot of tweaks, a lot of setup, they will get the right window. They will get a perfect window for the car to perform. So we are still looking at FP2, FP3 for Mercedes to gather their data and put their car in the perfect window for the car to operate perfectly. So they're about 1.2, 1.3 seconds behind the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. In FP2, the Mercedes were like 0.6, 0.7 seconds behind the Red Bull, which still shows they still have a lot of deficit to cover. But the Ferrari pushed in FP2 till Charles Leclerc was showing dominance on his teammate with the old, or should I say the unupgraded Ferrari, while the upgraded Ferrari still shows that it lacks like 2 tenths to 3 tenths from the old Ferrari. So I still believe they've seen the upgrades work in the simulator. If they've seen the upgrade worked during their test and analysis, I think there's still speed in the upgrade. But the major issues with Ferrari this year has been setup. They've not been able to get the right setup for their car to put their car in the right window for the car to perform. Verstappen led the FP2 as well. Fernando Alonso coming second, and Esteban Ocon driving his way into third in the FP2. And Alpine have a point to prove with their upgrades, and I think their upgrades are working perfectly for them. But tomorrow in FP3, we should be able to see a lot of lap times being tumbled. Since most of them were able to go into the 1 minute 13s in FP2, we are looking at 1 minute 11 to 1 minute 10, 1 minute 11 possibly in Q3 tomorrow. That should be the benchmark for the best qualifier tomorrow. But before we get to tomorrow, we should be looking at how the teams will set their car up over the night to see how best or how better they can get the car to work. We are looking at Mercedes really working all through the night on their data and through to get their setup to get the car to work perfectly for qualifying tomorrow, because they can't put so much money on the upgrades, and the upgrades will fail them. And I also expect the Aston Martin, Lance Stroll has been nowhere this season to where Fernando Alonso is, and I think that needs to be worked on. Somebody needs to get him working, and I believe he's not getting himself working. His father is just going to pull the trigger on him. His father might get him out of the team, I think, or the pressure comes on his father and they have to get him out of the team. But he needs to get his ass right and get into good racing to get the team some point. But Aston Martin will be making tweaks to make their car faster against tomorrow. Also the Ferrari, also the McLaren. Let's see where these guys set up tomorrow and how they perform in FP3 tomorrow. Until tomorrow in FP3 and qualifying, we'll see tomorrow. If you like this video, if you like what we do, please subscribe, like, comment, tell us what you want us to do next, what you want us to talk about. We talk about it. We still have some requests that you'll be seeing in our shorts, and for those of you that have made requests, you'll be seeing some of those videos as soon as possible. Thank you. We love you. Ciao. If you're a builder, if you're an art collector, if you have a showroom, Ken Rated is the best place to get the artworks you need for your new buildings, for your art collections, for your showroom, for your exhibition. Ken Rated Art have one of the best murals, mosaic works, and different art patterns in Nigeria presently. And it's somebody that you can communicate with, talks to you, you tell him what you want, and he will bring the reality out for you. To contact Ken Rated Art, his number is right up here, and you can also go on social media links that are pasted right up here to check out some of his works. Thank you. Teams Gadget is for those of you that cannot easily go to the market to get your phones, your laptops, your accessories. Just place a call through. His phone number is there. It gets you the best. It's your sure plug to get you the best phones, accessories, laptops, games, and other accessories for your computer gaming experience. Contact Teams Gadget and you get them for you.